A feast of gold. There once lived a very rich couple who owned a large farm, or hacienda, with endless fields of tall sugar cane. On the hacienda, they had a big house with 24 servants. Though the house was grand, it was very bare. The couple didn't care about decorating their house or making it comfortable. All they cared about was money, money, and more money. From the moment they woke up in the morning to the time they went to bed, all they did was count their gold. One day, when they were busy counting their money, a servant came to tell them that lunch was ready. Not now, the man cried out, piles of gold all around him. We're busy. The food can wait, the woman said. The servant turned and left. 2 hours later, the couple finally came down to eat. But when they arrived at the table, they discovered that all the food had turned to gold. Oh, the woman squealed in delight. The man grabbed a fistful of gold coins and let them fall one by one onto his plate. They're real, he said, smiling. We're even richer than before. Then he took his wife into his arms and they danced all around the dining room. Let's celebrate with a feast, the woman said, clapping her hands. Yes, agreed her husband. We'll call everyone we know. Lydia, the woman yelled for the chief cook. Lydia! The cook came to the door. Yes, ma'am. Tonight we're having a celebration, the woman said. Prepare a feast for 300 guests. The cook nodded. Yes, ma'am. She went back into the kitchen, but a few seconds later she came back, a look of shock on her face. Ma'am, she said, I've just been to the pantry and all our supplies have turned to gold. What? The couple said at once. All the food, said the cook in disbelief. The sugar, the milk, the dried fish, everything's gone. The man and woman quickly ran into the pantry to see for themselves, and just as the cook said, it was overflowing with gold. Yahee! Said the woman, giving her husband a kiss. More gold! The man wrapped his arms around her waist, grinning from ear to ear. It will take months for us to count all this money. He laughed joyfully, maybe even years. We'll postpone the celebration then, the woman said. We have too much work to do. She then grabbed a brown rice sack, which was now filled with gold, and began dragging it into the dining room. Let's start counting. Forgetting their hunger, the couple poured all their gold into one room and counted for several days. They didn't eat, they didn't sleep, and they didn't even speak to one another. Only the sound of tinkling coins could be heard echoing through their empty house, day after day and night after night. With each passing hour, they grew weaker and weaker from hunger. But they went on counting anyway. Many times the servants tried to bring in new supplies from the outside, but any food that was brought in instantly turned to gold. For their own meals, they were forced to eat at a neighbor's house. Still, in spite of how thin the couple had become and how faint they felt, they continued to carefully stack the gold coins, counting every and each one. The thought that they should simply stop counting and go out to eat never even entered their minds because they had become blinded by gold. The couple went on in this manner for weeks, neither one strong enough to break the spell of greed. Eventually, both died from starvation without even enjoying their riches. The end.